Owen Smith yet again makes promises that I think he just can't keep. He will come out fighting today being Monday. He promises that he will set out how to deliver a new industrial revolution. There are many among us that really only want one kind of revolution. And I have to say, neither of these revolutions, I feel, are going to happen anytime soon. Owen Smith has claimed that successive governments have concentrated and focused too much on growing the financial services sector and allowed the manufacturing base to shrink. That could run in line then with the focus that Smith placed on privatisation on medicines when he used to work for Pfizer. Kettle, pot and black, I think, spring to mind. He wants to bring attention to renewable energy and the creative industries. But isn't that what Corbyn wants? Why bother voting for a different leader when the existing leader wants the same things? It just doesn't make sense to me. But one thing he is big on is a second referendum. He says, "I will not allow the UK to fall coughing and spluttering out of the EU door. I am resolute that the British people must be offered an opportunity to sign off the terms of a Tory deal on Europe." So what he really means is he has seen the amount of people that are ticked off at the fact that we came out, and he is merely picking up on that and hoping them people that have no idea, in my opinion, what a democracy is, will vote for him as leader, if some of them are members. Oh, and they've paid their £25, but we'll come back to that. Or it could also be that Pfizer was one of the companies that categorically warned Britain of a Brexit. If he does manage to be leader and prime minister, and I know, but let's just say he does, what was the point of voting in the referendum? We are supposed to be a democratic society. If a leader doesn't like the outcome of a vote by the people and then changes it, isn't that a dictatorship? If he wants to and can do that, where does it stop? Vote in a prime minister. Don't like you. Out you go. Next. No, don't like you either. Next. We will spend the next 10 years voting until we find someone we like, in the hope that no one gets upset and doesn't start protesting. The vote was made. The people have spoken. You changed your mind. Tough. That's the system we have in place. If that's the case, let's get rid of voting, because we obviously can't trust it and don't like the things that it gives us. England play and lose the World Cup. The British people take to the streets and protest. The FA then say, okay, play again, and then they've lost. Then they play again. Then they lose. Then they play again. It's done. Move on. As with this one thing, you have got to ask now, why isn't Theresa May invoking Article 50 till 2017? Why 2017 in particular? Why not in a few months or in 2018? Jeremy Corbyn, on the other hand, has said under no circumstances will there be a second referendum, saying that you have to respect the decisions of the people, and that is bang on. I would say in turn that gains the trust of the British people. One of the things that Owen Smith is after, the trust from the British people. But when you also look at the stats on the EU referendum, that could also come into play. Now we know Labour was pro-Remain and Jeremy Corbyn promoted that, albeit in his own enigmatic way. But Owen Smith couldn't even convince his own constituency to remain. They voted 53% leave. How is he going to convince them to stay a second time? God only knows. But take the stats across to Corbyn's side and he convinced his own constituency to vote 75% Remain and 65% of Labour members voted to remain as well. Who can command a better following as a result of them figures? Who can command a better following as a leader which is something that is being criticised very often lately. It seems that Owen Smith will say anything to become the Labour Party leader, but I do actually now wonder today what he could be saying about the latest High Court challenge by 5 members of the Labour Party. Now, a judge ruled, and some of you may have read this today, a judge ruled in favour of allowing 130,000 new members to vote, and he has also ordered for the party to pay back the £25 to new members who paid again to vote as a registered supporter. And that's good news, as I would assume most of them members would be in support of Jeremy Corbyn. This has to be a gutting result for Smith, and I can honestly say that the odds are very quickly stacking against him. Now, I joined the Labour Party purely on the back of Jeremy Corbyn. Now, I for one want to be part of a party that gets things done and makes changes and has a leader that wants to give as much and do as much as he possibly can for people of this country. Unfortunately, before now, and as a new member I have to say it, the Labour Party has become a vessel for nay-doers and takers. Sometimes in a company you'll get a guy that has worked there for years. He always looks busy, always, you would think, comes up with the best ideas. But when you really watch him, he doesn't really produce any real results. He is quite happy to take the money, but he has mastered the action of just being there. He has made a few friends and they seem to follow him and emulate his behaviour. Then he lets them in on a little secret. You can actually get away with not doing much, and they love him for that. Then this new guy comes in, quiet, reserved, not much to say. He doesn't really tell anyone his dreams and goals. He makes them known now and again, but they don't really take them on board because this busy guy, he's been there for years and he's got all the answers, or at least you think so. And then this new guy starts getting results, albeit very quietly, and people start to notice the quiet guy. But the things that he is getting done, that's what they really notice. Then the boss, or us, the people, start to notice the results as well. And we start to get interested in him, start to follow him. But the other guys, they have been there for years. They don't like it. Because if we, the boss, start to wake up, we will see what the other workers have been getting away with for so long. So they start to spread rumours in the hope that they get back to the boss, back to us people, trying to make him look bad. Eventually, he puts things in place that make the company look so good, he almost becomes unstoppable. That is what is happening with the Labour Party, and it is beginning to snowball very quickly. Jeremy Corbyn, it could be said, is a very dangerous man. He is a ninja, but you should only be scared of someone like that if you've done something wrong. Whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, put a comment in the box below, especially if you have any ideas or anything to add to what I'm saying. Out of ideas comes results, and one tiny result works towards making our voice heard and giving us a better political system for our society. This has to be a win-win situation, doesn't it? Of course it does. Why not click subscribe so you don't miss an episode? Thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next upload. Bye bye for now. I have to say, neither of these resolutions, fuck's sake.